Good evening. Please bear with me as I'm extremely nervous. Tonight, it's pretty ironic. I was going to talk about edification, but at first I wanted to ask a question. Do you build or do you destroy? Um, Sorry, excuse me. Well, the first point I was wanting to talk about a new convert. You see, as a new convert, especially coming from the world or even coming from a family who does not believe in Christ Jesus, they may either, for say, disown him or completely abandon him. As he comes to church, he is asked to lead a prayer during that service. Well, during that prayer, it's a very good prayer, and also, but what you're focused on is his slouchy clothes. His hair might be messy, and you might be thinking, I cannot believe that he would wear something like that to services. You see, you're tearing him down, but also you should be building him up. You can go up to him and say, hey, I really appreciate what you said, or also I say you did a good job. If you please turn to Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15, verse 4. A soothing tongue is a tree of life, but perversion in it crushes the spirit. You see, sorry. You see, if you're wanting to tear somebody down, it's going to crush them. So what happens if you go and tear them down? You might turn them away from Christ. You might scare them away eventually. But if you're building him up, like me, it makes, sorry, that's not right. But if you build him up, you'll see that smile on his face, and he'll want to pursue a life with Christ. Also, if we look in Romans 15, verses 1 through 3. Now we who are strong ought to bear the weaknesses of those without strength and not just please ourselves. Each of us is to please his neighbor for his good, to his edification. For even Christ did not please himself, but as is written, the reproaches of those who reproached you fell on me. You see, it is good to please one another. As you can you also can reflect on yourself. You might not be edifying him, but you can also be edifying yourself in the same way. The next topic I wanted to talk about was the elderly as well. With the elderly, you can also destroy them and you can also build them up. Destroying them, you can be saying to yourselves, I really don't want to talk to them at this time, or this takes too much time out of my day. Well, in Philippians chapter 2, and verse 14 through 15, it is telling us to do things without grumbling or disputing. You see, it is just as important with the elderly. Also, we must build them as well. With talking to the elderly, just talking to them makes their day, and also you might even learn something from it, For an example, when I was down in Hansville attending college at Wallace State, the baseball team, every single time before Christmas came around, we would go visit the nursing home, and we would sing Christmas carols with them. We'd play bingo with them, and we'd just talk to them. And seeing the smiles on their faces, it really made our day. And also, just hearing their life stories was really, truly amazing. And one of my buddies, Will, he even got one of the phone numbers of one of the ladies that was there because her family just stuck her in there. And she did not have anything wrong with her, and it was really taking a toll on her. And to this day, he even talks to her still and gives her phone calls just to make sure and checks up on her to make sure that she's okay. I talk about edification tonight. I'm not trying to say that anything is wrong with Pepper Road. I think the Pepper Road family here does a really good job on edification. Even like one of my first experiences at Pepper Road, I think it was when I sung. At the very end of that service, I had somebody come up to me and say, hey, you did a really good job with your singing, and that made me feel really good about myself. So I want to ask you the question again. Are you a builder or are you a destroyer?